All right. Good evening, everybody. No excuses for the late night. I got caught up at work, and by the time I realized it was already 7, it was a 7:30 actually. I had an hour-long commute ahead of me, and then dinner and all that. For what it's worth, I didn't have dinner. I went straight to streaming. So the deal on this one, because I'm doing something off the beaten track, I'm going to I'm going to be a little bit looser on stream time. This isn't a guarantee that I'm going to, stop playing. There's no guarantee here that I'm like going to stop playing at 2 hours or something like that. But I do actually have a couple of early morning meetings, and I need a bit of a break. Like it's been a very bumpy week this week. There's a little like I quite like a coworker, but there seems to have been a little bit of turbulence with them, and unfortunately, they're the type of person who likes really freezing someone out to let them know things aren't going well. And the drawback is that actually stresses me out a lot on top of all the other stuff that I'm doing. So I'm kind of coming in. I'm sorry to share. Obviously, it's personal stuff that nobody really needs to care about. But the really tough part here is that I'm coming in on a stream feeling like really keyed up. So one of the better ways of handling that is to make sure that I get a proper night's sleep. If I'm still feeling bad, deal with that at the time. But I know the one way that that's going to translate into a couple of days of bad is if I don't get enough sleep. So just wanted to get that out there at the front. This may not be a full length, and I apologize for that. I was definitely planning on doing that, but this week just kind of today specifically just kind of caught up with me. But for those of you who don't know, Brace Yourself Games has a new game out. Now I may need to mess around a little bit with the settings. It looks like it's not automatically taking up the game, which surprises me a little bit here. Oh, I see why. There we go. Okay. I'm going to quit out just so you can see the logos and all of that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this coming out. Obviously, a very big congratulations to Brace Yourself Games. I have nothing but the greatest admiration for them as a team and all of the people. I don't think I can fairly say that I know everybody involved with it, but I have had the great pleasure of interacting both online and in person with a number of the people there, and they are truly wonderful. I think very fondly of them, and obviously, to see a new release by them is one of these things that I want to show some support for. I should mention there have actually been some updates to Phantom Brigade, which I've really wanted to cover. The catch on that one is that that's one that I feel like I would be better suited to have a bit more of a persistent series with. Whereas I feel that this one, while I do want to come back to it, this will serve the purpose of letting people know, hey, it's out, it's great, and just all of the the delights you have in store. It is also 10% off on release, and I believe if you own Crypt of the NecroDancer, there is a bundle, so you may even be able to get it for a little bit less. Although, of course, what I really expect is all of you to pay the highest amount possible for it. The soundtrack, I believe, is also available for purchase. So lots of goodies here. But yeah, again, Brace Yourself Games, wonderful Vancouver developer. I believe this is published by Clay. Power Up Audio is still doing the audio work on it. I loved the demo when I played it, and actually brought some really interesting people into the stream. So clearly, this is a popular game. I'm happy to see that it's sort of climbing up the top seller list, and I'm hoping. I mean, obviously, the top seller list is relative, but I also know that that Civilization 7 is the like early beta. Oh dear, 41% mixed for Civilization 7. Oh no. But yeah, let me just see here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 on the global top sellers. So I feel that if you're releasing a game at the time that Civilization 7 is going out to the to the wider public, and Street Fighter 6 is 50% off, and Red Dead Redemption 2 is 75% off, and Hogwarts Legacy 70% off. I mean, I don't know. I hope this means that this game is getting a successful launch, because the people behind it are wonderful. In fact, I know that the lead developer on this had at least some association with the local game dev meetup at some point. So that's another good one. I will note that the review on this one, 99% positive compared to Sid Meier's Opus. But yeah, no, this is something that I really wanted to make the time for. So even though we will be back to Brandkrug probably on Friday, I had a great time with the demo. I think this is a great, okay, I haven't played the full game, but I've been really looking forward to this. I'm so happy that they got it to the end, and I really wanted to show that support where I can. So let's go in. All right, audio calibration. Press enter whenever you hear the calibration blip sound. All right. I'm hoping 34 milliseconds is appropriate, because I definitely did it off the beat on a couple of those. All right, video calibration. Press enter to begin visual calibration. Press enter when the lines meet. Oops, not even close. I think this is just me being incompetent, but let's confirm that and see how it goes. Oh, we're going right into it. Welcome to the Rift. I'm Coach Zad, and I'll be training you in the art of musical combat. Let's get to it. Now, I'm going to guess the music's too loud. Okay, tell you what. I'm sorry, I know this is going to drown me out a little bit, but let's... I should have thought about the volume when they gave me the option. This is on me. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to go through the level, and then we can adjust the audio. So I apologize. First, let's test your latency values. The row at the bottom of the screen with 3 arrows is the action row. When a monster reaches the action row, press the corresponding button to hit it. Looks like you're playing with a keyboard. You can use the arrow keys to play or assign other keys in settings. Once I've collected enough data, I'll recommend some calibration tweaks to try out if you need them.
Quite perfect. Let's tinker a bit more.
You seem to be a little late on the beat. Want to adjust by 27 milliseconds and test again?
One more try. We'll get closer.
You seem to be a little early on the beat. Want to adjust by 20 milliseconds and test again? Looks like you're good to go. You can recalibrate at any time.
NecroDancer!
Thank you for playing Rift of the NecroDancer. We gather data to improve your gameplay experience. By continuing, you agree to our privacy policy listed at braceyourselfgames.com/privacy policy. You can press Control B at any time to give feedback and report bugs. We read everything that comes through. All right, let's just put that back a little bit. So I apologize. Let's try 60%. I realize, this is not... Oh, wow, that's still... Okay, so I'm hoping that this is acceptable. This might still be a little bit off. I realize that this is not the game to get the masses for. I think a lot of people have already decided what streamer they want to watch this with. If I'm getting drowned out by the game, please let me know, because I'm happy to adjust these, but I also don't want the music to get too drowned out. Let's maybe try 30%. If it's too quiet, I can always bring it back. All right, let's do it normally. Basic tutorial? Why not?
Let's start at the beginning, shall we?
Oh, this is the same one. All right, time to show you the ropes. My tutorials are an optional warm-up. If you want to dive in without my training, you can skip these. The number one rule, when a monster reaches the action row, press the corresponding button to hit it. That's all you really need to know to play rhythm rifts on your own, but stick around if you want more personal training from me. Slimes come in different weight classes. Green slimes take 1 hit, blue slimes take 2, yellow slimes take 3. Hitting a blue slime is totally the same as hitting 2 green slimes. A yellow slime is the same as hitting 3 green slimes.
That's 110%!
When 3 monsters enter their action row at the same time, press down to hit all 3 at once. You can also enable the invert up-down for rhythm rifts in the settings menu.
Yes! Impressive!
Good hustle! You can also press all 3 buttons on the action row at the same time, so long as your input device supports that. White skeletons are the same as green slimes. They're lightweights and can be defeated in 1 hit. Yellow skeletons are runners. After being hit, they lose their heads and sprint away until they slam into another monster. Black skeletons are heavyweights. They run like yellow skeletons, except they need to be hit 2 times before they lose their heads. Ah! Bats are a little tricky. They move in the direction they are facing when you hit them. Blue bats must be hit 2 times. It's similar to hitting 2 green slimes that are offset. Red and yellow bats are built different. They both take 3 hits, but have different movement patterns.
That's how it's done!
Food items will help you recover and get those gains. Apples take 1 hit, cheese takes 2, drumsticks take 3, ham takes 4.
Just like how we do it back home!
I like how kind of the green slime is the unit of measure. Worms are hold notes. Hit their head as it enters the action row, then hold down the button, release when you pass the tail. That's it. Good hustle. Let's take you off the grill, because that was well done. Get out there and practice your form. In our next session, we'll tackle some more intense sets. Okay, I mean, do I want to keep going to the different tutorials? Sure, let's just do this. We'll do these in the row.
A little more challenging.
Ready to break a sweat and face some new monsters? Let's go. Monsters can wrap from one edge of the board to the other. Zombies don't skip leg day. They hop constantly from side to side, track their movement, and hit them when they hit the action row. Red zombies go the extra mile. They'll wrap around the edge of the board instead of bouncing off.
In the zone.
Oh, these are going to be a nightmare. Harpies are fast. They dash forward 2 rows at a time with a pause in between each rep. Blue harpies are stronger. They need to be hit 2 times. Red harpies are the fastest monster on the roster. Stay sharp and hit them when they enter the action row. Oh. Vibe Power briefly grants invincibility and doubles your score multiplier. Use it to survive when things get tough or to rack up points for a new PB. Hit the amped up monsters in a vibe chain to gain Vibe Power. The vibe meter is shown beneath your portrait. Once you have a charge, press space to activate it. Offbeat monsters have a different shaped shadow. Pay attention. Most monsters are aligned with the beat, but some are offbeat instead. Offbeat monsters have a diamond-shaped shadow to make them easy to spot. Some monsters are not aligned with either the beat or the offbeat. They have a star-shaped shadow.
All right.
Oops. Let's talk shields. A shield adds an extra double time hit to a skeleton. Think of it like dividing one beat into 2 hits. Yellow skeletons and black skeletons can hold shields too.
On a roll.
Oops. I'm gonna have to get used. Oh, they go off beat. Okay. Skeletons holding 2 shields need to be hit 3 times at double time to knock off the shields and finish them off. Good lord.
They might be monsters, but
That's a
you're
wrap.
beast.
Whoa, you must be allergic to monsters because you're looking swole. Remember, Vibe Power makes you invincible. Use it to help you to survive difficult rhythm rift sections. Now, go practice and stay hydrated. Alright, advanced tutorial, and then we get to start the missions proper.
Want to test your metal, huh?
It's time to jack up the intensity. Get ready for my advanced tutorial. Blade Masters are lightning fast. 1 beat after they unsheathe their sword, they will strike from any distance. Anticipate their movement and hit them 1 beat after they unsheathe their sword. Blue Blade Masters are stronger and need to be hit 2 times. Skulls explode into skeletons after you defeat them. Watch the direction the skulls are facing. Heads up, different colored skulls have different behaviors.
Right on.
Oops. Basic shielded skeleton divides 1 beat into 2 hits. Armadillos are similar, but they divide 1 beat into 3 hits. Yellow armadillos must be hit 3 times in 1 beat. 1, 2, 3. Blue armadillos are like yellow armadillos, but you only hit them the first 2 times. Red armadillos are tricky. They are similar to yellow armadillos, but the middle hit is missing. You have to hit, then pause, then hit. Traps can affect monsters by moving them, by hiding them, or by making them faster. Flying monsters are unaffected by traps. Oop. Oops. The rhythm riff training is now complete. Whew, what a workout. Call me a protein shake, cause I'm way too impressed by your gains. How you doing, Zarog? When you're ready for a new challenge, be sure to check out Remix Mode, daily challenges, and modifiers. Keep playing to earn diamonds and unlock loads more content. If you want more content to flex on, visit our Steam Workshop to check out what the mod community has been cooking up. So I just gotta tab for a second here. Because all of a sudden I lost all my details. All right, here we go. And if you want to truly test your skills, check out the challenges in the extras menu. Now get out there and get some reps in, champ. Make me proud. So I'm curious, Zarog, have you heard of this game? Have you played this game? Are you interested in this game? I really like Brace Yourself games, and I love the demo for this, so. All right, Disco Disaster for a start. Let's rock.
3, 2, 1, go!
Excellent.
I'm on fire! That's power. Now we're talking.
done.
I blew it. Oh well. That's a pretty straightforward one. I seem to remember liking this one on some of the harder difficulties, but I want to kind of start at the medium level and go up. I'm also noticing, like, I used to think I was okay at rhythms, but I will say when I play this game, I definitely realize, you know, this is going to be like whiplash, right? Were you rushing or were you dragging? Alright, so let's continue. Right now we're going to go for variety. Ah, okay, so I think I see how this works. Alright, let's try Illusional by Jules Conroy.
Three, two, one, bring it on!
Oh, nuts. I was treating them like black skeletons.
I'm on fire! On a roll! Awesome! In the zone!
Oh no! It's funny, I kind of remember a couple of these patterns from... Oh yeah, and I left the rift amount in the tank. So I remember a couple of these patterns from... what was it? From the demo. But getting the muscle memory back is definitely a challenge. So anyways, we're going to try for variety first. So now we'll go on to Visualize Yourself by Josie Brencher. Intensity 7, and it has a chicken. By the way, if the game is overwhelming my voice or if the game's too quiet, do feel free to let me know. At 100%, it definitely was drowning me out. I could see that on the bars. But obviously just being able to hear from people what works and what isn't working, that really gives me that I always value more than my best bets in terms of the monitors, just because, you know, everybody's setup's a bit different, but I don't know, there are certain things that are like unambiguous when you look at the settings. All right.
3, 2, 1, let's rock. Right on.
This is an interesting one.
Doing great.
No. This is definitely one of those ones where like my brain sort of knows, but I feel my body betray me.
Wonderful.
That's going to be true for a lot of this game for me, I think. It's kind of a nice way that they introduced the holding mechanic too. Obviously it was covered in the tutorial, but like this is an interesting level just in terms of how they put it in an interesting way, but not necessarily an overwhelming way. God, my finger's getting tired.
I'm on fire.
Okay, that was like obviously I like all of the songs on this one. That was a neat one. Like I liked how that one felt, and it's it kind of interests. Oh hey, S plus. Obviously I liked it for that. They've done a really good job of doing the progression, I feel like. Okay, so this one says intensity 6. So what was the BPM? So this is also one of the faster ones, but this one's 104 for the Spook House Pop.
Three, two, one, bring it on.
I messed up.
On a roll.
Ah, I meant to... I'm pushing the wrong buttons. Oh well.
In the zone. Awesome.
Oh.
Right on. Doing great.
Ah! Hitting the down one is one I'm going to need to get used to. The other thing I'm noticing is I'm not really good at figuring out the charges. So, like, I don't know if there's supposed to be 4 in every level or if there's, like, sort of an indicator. I always wind up porting them longer than I need to. Although apparently my accuracy is getting better despite the misses. Alright, 135, and on, Alex Mukala. Now, I'm actually a little curious here, because I remember that there were sort of like yoga lessons showing up as... Oh, there's story mode! Okay, sorry. So you know what, I'm gonna do a little bit more play. I think I completely missed story mode. I just kind of went cranking, like running straight into the music here. So let's do and on, and we'll see how I feel about the rest after. I mean, this is fine, but I think the story mode is probably going to be what I really want to play.
3, 2, 1, bring it on. Yay!
One thing I kind of like about this is, obviously, okay, I need to...
Now we're talking.
Ah! I'm blowing it.
Yes!
Unacceptable.
In the zone. Wonderful.
Aww.
Doing great. Right on. Wow. On a roll. Yay! I'm on fire.
All right, so obviously that was a rougher one for me. So one of the things I really like about this, and I definitely remember getting this impression from the demo that I played, one of the things I really like about the way that this game sort of works,
One more try.
if you compare it to a like any other rhythm game that you might play. So I always like kind of thinking DDR is probably, or Dance Dance Revolution, if you're not familiar. That's probably the one that most people would probably think of at the basics for a rhythm game. Maybe Rock Band might be another example, but the only reason why I hold back on like Rock Band or Guitar Hero or something like that, or there was like a DJ one, I think. The reason I hold back on those examples are just because of the instrument. You sort of have this impression of like playing that instrument, right? I mean, if you're doing the drums, that's obviously rhythm. But it's just one of those ones where sometimes, depending on the emphasis that you're putting down, you don't quite consciously think of it as a rhythm game quite in the same way that some of the other ones might come up. Or maybe that's just, maybe it's just exposure, right? Like I remember seeing, I was in Vancouver, so like I remember seeing Dance Dance Revolution in an arcade and being utterly fascinated by what that was. So, what's neat about this one, right, is if you think of like a Rock Band, or if you think of a DDR, or even a Beat Saber, I guess, to a certain extent, they're very clear instructions, right? The little symbol comes up and you're supposed to hit the button. And there may be like a degree of complexity in terms of the number of things that they make you handle at any given time. And of course, some of the variation for the various games will be based on where what are those combinations. So in the case of something like a Rock Band, you've got a certain number of buttons on the neck of the guitar, and you have to hit those in sync with the little strumming thing. Now, I mean, of course, if you want, you can probably just take out a controller. And that would also be true for DDR as well. Like you do not actually have to get up off the couch. You could just sit there with a controller if you had a console version of it. But what's the point, right? The reason people play that is for the dance mat. But I mean, even then, when you take a look at something like a Dance Dance Revolution, there may be multiple inputs. They're telling you, go this direction, go that direction, rather than push these buttons on the guitar controller. But they're kind of clear and unambiguous instructions. What this game adds, and it's really neat how they do this in a way that doesn't, how do I put this? Okay, so like a slime, the green slime is about as close as you're going to get to the representations in these other games, right? So that's kind of the unit of measure almost. Like the green slime, I guess, is the quarter note. If you don't know music, don't worry about quarter notes. But like it's this sort of single unit that everybody can sort of base everything off of. You'll notice that the tutorials basically explained everything with a slime beside the thing that it was introducing. And you have, you have the variation in terms of the slimes, in terms of the number of hits that it takes. But beyond that, like if you just look at that visually, that's still sort of that item that appears on the screen. But where this game sort of innovates, and it's really interesting to see how they do this, you have the moving monsters. And again, it's not giving you an arrow. It's not telegraphing in the sort of way that these other games play. It's not telling you, hey, this thing's going to come up in a second. You need to remember the movement of the creatures. So to a certain extent, right, there would be a direct mapping that you can make from this game to a more traditional rhythm game, right? You could remove the monsters and you can get something that is indistinguishable from the other rhythm games. But what I really think is neat about this one is I remember the things that I struggle on with Crypt of the NecroDancer. And they've translated in such an interesting way into Rift of the NecroDancer, which is the way that you sort of get good at Crypt of the NecroDancer is remembering all the movement patterns of the monsters. And so in this game here, they don't hide it in an unfair way, right? As you play, you will learn the movements, and some of them just have a natural feel. Like I remember in the demo, I really loved how it felt very natural to do certain movements because he kind of knew how the music was going to go. But they've kind of retained that interesting feature of Crypt of the NecroDancer while still making this a genuinely fun and fair rhythm game, right? So like I get frustrated with myself for not getting the combos, but it's very rarely been because I didn't know what to expect from an enemy. It's more just, I meant to do this, but my fingers did this. And I'm actually learning this with piano again now. Like it has been a long time since I've played even a moderately complicated piece with both hands. And it's just one of these things where you kind of need to build those instincts again. So obviously this is the worst possible way for me to learn this game, is to do it on stream and embarrass myself in front of everybody. But it's too charming of a game not to share. So I guess the question is, do I want to do Morning Dove? I mean, this is one of the fastest ones that we've got, and I have a feeling that we're going to, keep going through the list, getting gems until we're out of the list. So you know what? Let's take a minute here and see what story mode looks like. Or actually, you know what? I notice I've got a few minutes before the 1 hour mark, so we're going to do one more song because that'll probably take me to the hour. I'll take a small break. And then we'll jump into story mode after that. How about? All right, Morning Dove. Oh, sorry, I should give credit. Sam Webster and Nick Nussbaum. Now, I think Sam Webster, if I'm not mistaken, is the composer for Capybara Games. So I first found out about Cappy after Sword and Sorcery, Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery, a really, really interesting iPad game that played a bit with sort of time and some of the other settings of the how do I put it? There's a bunch of features on the iPad that like just don't apply to PC gaming. But there's a great game that they've put together for Apple Arcade called Grindstone. So it's, hey, His Lethal Fox. Yes, this is new. I had forgotten that this was actually landing on the Wednesday. So I did feel a little bad that I said I was going to be back to Book of Hours on... I did feel bad that I said I was going to play Book of Hours, but I just didn't appreciate... I try not to let things that are like... If I say I'm going to do it and I don't feel like it, like I kind of say, nah, I said I was going to do it, I should follow through. For the cases where I kind of genuinely didn't realize that there was another thing coming up, I feel that one is a bit of a safer bet. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Brace Yourself games. They've treated me very kindly over the years. They make great games, and I'm so happy that they got this over the finish line because I know it needed a little bit of extra time. They partnered with Clay to publish this, and there's just a bunch of interesting people behind it, both in terms of the development team, but also if you just take a look at the credits, so like Power Up Audio doing the work on it and such. So it's definitely a game that I wanted to sort of shout from the rooftops. I mean, again, like I said, this is the sort of thing where it's a popular enough new release that I'm not going to be building my audience off of this, let's say. But I did get a chance to meet some really interesting people when I streamed the demo for this. Delude Daybreak is an example of that. And of course, Delude does, does the Elder Scrolls games and such. But yeah, I mean, again, this is not the sort of thing that I'm good at, but this is the type of game that I really enjoy, and it's by some people that I want to show some support for. So this felt like an okay diversion. The only catch here is that because I started relatively late, I may not do the full 3 hours tonight, and that's just me trying to take care of myself. I definitely I'm still feeling like I'm happy and I'm feeling a degree of energy from this game. But I am kind of feeling the day catch up with me. It's been a bit of a toll. So anyways, let's do Morning Dove. I'm going to have a small break after that, and then we will check out story mode probably for the rest of the stream. Also, feel free, again, if the game is too quiet or drowning me out, let me know. And if there's any questions about the game, I'm going to try and answer them. Obviously, I'm a little more quiet during the game, but that's just because I tend to do poorly when I'm trying to multitask. I'll try and be a little more interactive, but I'm still learning some of this stuff. So let's rock.
3, 2, 1, come on!
Oop.
Awesome! Now we're talking.
Ah. It always feels so bad when you miss the streak on that last one. Ah.
Right on. In the zone. On a roll.
I really like this one, but I'm just not on the ball enough to get in the zone.
I'm on fire. Right on.
It's funny. Some of my favorite songs are the ones I'm worst at.
Gotta keep trying.
Sorry, I just got to do a ban. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna take a small break if you folks don't mind. I'm going to. I'll confess, I'm not feeling as bad as I did on Monday, but I am still feeling a little. Still feeling like not 100%. So part of this is a stretch, part of this is just kind of getting myself sorted out. But we are going to be doing story mode immediately afterwards, so now is a good time to get up, get a glass of water, get a tea, get whatever you need. I will try to keep it short, but I just need to make sure I'm taking care of myself. So it will be a couple minutes, and I look forward to seeing you when I get back. Oop, sorry. Music will come back in a second. Oh dear. Okay, so I didn't put the break sign up, so I apologize for that. And that did take longer than I was planning. So if you're still, excuse me, if you're still around, thanks for hanging out. You're dealing with someone who doesn't know how to stream. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling that much better from my break. I'm happy I took it. I'm gonna do my best to, put on a good show and go a little bit longer. But I'm also, I think I'm contending with some sad realities as to my overall health, I think. So, but let's not focus on that. Let's go into story mode. Let's see what we can find. Oh, okay. So this is funny. I'm sure this is just on me, but it's funny that play is at the top and story mode is here. I will do the tutorials again, but I feel I kind of wish I could have started with story mode. I didn't realize there was one. Anyways.
We will begin at the beginning.
Time to show you the ropes. My tutorials are an optional warm-up. If you want to dive in without any training, you can skip these. Thank you, Hisley. Number 1 rule, when a monster reaches the action row, press the corresponding button to hit it. That's all you really need to know to play rhythm rifts on your own, but stick around if you want a more personal training from me. So I know it says optional, but I do want to do this. Again, I figure if nothing else, there'll probably be a few more people in here than when I did this the first time, so everybody can be on the same page in terms of how the monsters work. So slimes come in different weight classes. Green slimes take 1 hit, blue slimes take 2, yellow slimes take 3. Hitting a blue slime is totally the same as hitting 2 green slimes. A yellow slime is the same as 3 green slimes.
On a roll.
When 3 monsters enter the action row at the same time, press down to hit all 3 at once. You can also enable invert up or down for rhythm rifts in the settings menu.
Looking swole.
Good hustle! You can also press all 3 buttons on the action row at the same time, so long as your input device supports that. White skeletons are the same as green slimes. They're lightweight and can be lightweights and can be defeated in 1 hit. Yellow skeletons are runners. After being hit, they lose their heads and sprint away until they can slam into another monster. Black skeletons are heavyweights. They run like yellow skeletons, except they need to be hit 2 times before they lose their heads.
That's how it's done.
Bats are a little tricky. They move in the direction they are facing when you hit them. Blue bats must be hit 2 times. It is similar to hitting 2 green slimes that are offset. Red and yellow bats are built different. They both take 3 hits, but have different movement patterns. food items will help you recover and get those gains. Apples take 1 hit, cheese takes 2, drumsticks take 3, ham takes 4.
They might be monsters, but you're a beast!
Worms hold notes. Hit their head as it enters the action row, and then hold the button down. Release when you pass the tail. That's it. Good hustle. Let's take you off the grill, because that was well done. Get out there and practice your form. In our next session, we'll tackle some more intense sets.
Time for something a little more challenging.
Ready to break a sweat and face some new monsters? Let's go. Monsters can wrap from one edge of the board to the other. Zombies don't skip leg day. They hop constantly from side to side, track their movements, and hit them when they hit the action row. I'm dreading when I have to deal with these guys. Red zombies go the extra mile. They wrap around the edge of the board instead of bouncing off. Ah! Harpies are fast. They dash forward 2 rows at a time with a pause in between each rep. Blue harpies are stronger. They need to be hit 2 times. Red harpies are the fastest monster on the roster. Stay sharp and hit them when they hit the action row. Or enter the action row.
Now that's 110%!
Vibe Power briefly grants invincibility and doubles your score multiplier. Use it to survive when things get tough or rack up points for a new PB. Hit the amped up monsters in a vibe chain to gain Vibe Power. The Vibe meter is shown beneath your portrait. Once you have a charge, press space to activate it. Oop. I want the 4.
Right.
Offbeat monsters have a different shaped shadow. Pay attention. Most monsters are aligned with the beat, but some are off the beat instead. Offbeat monsters have a diamond-shaped shadow and to make them easy to spot. Some monsters are not aligned with either the beat or the offbeat. They have a star-shaped shadow.
Just like how we do it back home!
Let's talk shields. A shield adds an extra double time hit to a skeleton. Think of it like dividing one beat into 2 hits. Yellow skeletons and black skeletons can hold shields too.
Now we're talking.
Skeletons holding 2 shields need to be hit 3 times at double time to knock off the shields and finish them off. 1, 2, 3. It's wonderful, Hisley. I don't know, did you ever play Crypto the NecroDancer at all? Oops. I might... Okay, I was just doing it too fast. That's a wrap. Whoa, you must be allergic to monsters because you're looking swole. Okay, I feel like I don't want to spend too much time off Rift of the NecroDancer, but I do want to sort of introduce... Actually, you know, I really should be taking a minute here to put the link up. So I'm going to put up the link to Rift of the NecroDancer, but I'll also include one for Crypt of the NecroDancer. So developed by Brace Yourself Games, but this one is published by Clay Publishing. So Crypt of the NecroDancer has kind of an interesting story. I have a curator ID. Maybe that's the... Maybe that's the Brace Yourself. I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to question it. So the fun sort of background to Crypt of the NecroDancer is it's a rhythm roguelike. So apparently the developer of Crypt of the NecroDancer, a gentleman named Ryan Clark, who is the founder and owner of Brace Yourself Games, I can't remember exactly where this started, but I think the general idea here is that he reflected on the fact that he liked roguelikes. But very often, it seems a number of the games that he makes are an effort to overcome either a shortcoming or something that he doesn't really care for in existing games that he likes. So for instance, I think everybody's kind of familiar with the game Breakout, where you'll sort of kind of play Pong against this collection of blocks that you're supposed to sort of knock down. But the big challenge with Breakout that he observed was that once you get down to those last few like tiles, it can be a little tedious because, you know, you're just bouncing that thing around waiting for the last thing to hit. It's actually a little bit like the original XCOM, where like the AI would always play to win. So if you're just about to win, you know, the alien would run away and hide and try and get like an ambush on you. So sometimes the game would be reduced down to this like horrible search for this like very nimble, like hard to find enemy on a somewhat big map. In the case of like Breakout, I think the idea behind that one was I think the ball might have gotten much bigger over the course of the game. So following that sort of pattern, I think he was, and again, I'm this is kind of like secondhand, and I'm trying to half remember some of the videos that he put out. But I think the idea behind Crypt of the NecroDancer wound up being reflecting on the fact that he really liked roguelikes. But one of the challenges with roguelikes is that, or at least as far as he was perceived, he didn't care for the fact that you could sort of make a move in a roguelike and you could kind of like step away from your keyboard, you know, make dinner, have dinner, clean the dishes, you know, watch a show, and then come back and take your turn. I think the idea here was that he wanted to create a little bit of pressure on the player so that they wouldn't necessarily be playing a perfect game or tactically perfect game every single time. And so the idea was to introduce some kind of timer mechanic to force movement in the course of the roguelike. And I think from that, it sort of led to this revelation that actually, with this timer, it kind of looks like the character's dancing. And then sort of from that, they match a beat to it, and all of a sudden it's like, actually, this kind of works as a game. And so what's fun about this is that, also, the attitude's communicated by the fact that it's called Crypt of the NecroDancer, right? It's a pun. And of course, the developer name is Brace Yourself Games. They're full of wonderful puns, lots of great people who work there. They've been very supportive of the stream in the past. And I really wanted to make sure that I shared this with people. But the thing that really catches my attention with Rift of the NecroDancer in relation to Crypt of the NecroDancer is that one of the things that I struggle with for Crypt of the NecroDancer is that all of the monsters have a very specific movement pattern. It's kind of the way you learn to it's the way you kind of learn to play the game or to do well in the game rather. And what to me at least, the thing that the thing that kind of interests me about Rift of the NecroDancer, and I was talking about this before, is that even though it's something that I struggle at with the Crypt of the NecroDancer game, it's neat that they've sort of retained that fact that the monsters have certain movement patterns, which mean, which reveal where they're going to be eventually. Because if I compare this to other games that I've played, other rhythm games that I've played, it's always been, how do I say this? Like, it's always been very clear. Like, so when you play Dance Dance Revolution or you play Rock Band or something like that, there's no confusion in terms of like where you're supposed to hit it. And again, I don't want to suggest that Rift of the NecroDancer is a confusing game. They've actually retained the feature where it's very clear the actions that you're supposed to take, but they're not always painted onto the board in an unambiguous way. You actually do need to think on your feet enough to be able to... sorry, I just need to handle one thing in a tab. Odd. Okay, sorry. My hey, Takri, good to see you. Something weird showed up on my monitor, but it does not seem to be there anymore. But yeah, so anyways, again, wonderful atmosphere. I think the one last thing I'll say just to Hisley's comment on liking the vibe of the game. It's very easy, and like I am the target market for like Deus Ex and Warhammer 40k and like lots of tough men in sunglasses or large shoulder pads frowning, and dystopias, and everything looks borderline monochrome and all of that. But I often feel that the underserved market, obviously we're in the world of like Overwatch and, the really interesting art direction for Marathon and things like that. So it's not like this is a secret, but like, I do feel the things that are in short supply are very often funny games and sort of joyful and uplifting games, right? The sort of stuff that just puts a smile on your face, sometimes even despite yourself. And I get it, right? Because very often, especially for independent games, people are going to be, they're going to be putting a lot of work into it, and they want to be taken seriously. And, people don't always take funny things seriously. Like, that's kind of beside the point. And yet, I think everybody likes a good laugh, and I think everybody likes to just feel good. So, you know, while it may be nice to sort of make Doom or something like really hardcore, something that's just bright and friendly and, you know, it's very hard not to sort of squirm in your chair to the beat. It's the sort of thing I really feel that the world needs more of. And yet it can sometimes be a challenge because it's not so obvious when you sit down and think about what you want as a gamer or what the world may want. It's one of these things that doesn't sort of scream out at you, right? It's always one of these things where it's like, I must make an artistic statement. Where delighting people is actually sometimes one of the finest things that you can do as a creator. So it's one of the reasons why I really wanted to share this. But I'm sorry, I realized I just punished Hisley for making a nice comment about the game by like not playing the game. So remember, Vibe Power makes you invincible. Use it to help you survive difficult rhythm rift sections. Now go practice and stay hydrated. All right, advanced tutorial, and then we are into story mode. It's time to jack up the intensity. Get ready for my advanced tutorial. Blade Masters are lightning fast. One beat after they unsheath their sword, they will strike from any distance. Anticipate their movement and hit them one beat after they unsheath their sword. Blue Blade Masters are stronger and need to be hit 2 times. Skulls explode into skeletons after you defeat them. Watch the direction the skulls are facing. Heads up, different colored skulls have different behaviors. I still actually don't know the behavior of the blue and the red skulls. Oh, just 2.
Awesome.
A basic shielded skeleton divides 1 beat into 2 hits. Armadillos are similar, but they divide 1 beat into 3 hits. Triplets. Yellow armadillos must be hit 3 times in 1 beat. 1, 2, 3. Blue armadillos are like yellow armadillos, but you only hit them the first 2 times. One of the Otome games I'm playing has a rhythm game, and I forgot how much I like these games in general. Yeah, I mean, it's the funny, like, so again, I talked a bit about Dance Dance Revolution, I talked a bit about Guitar Hero and Rock Band, and sort of the offshoots of that. I think there was a DJ game that came out. You know, rhythm isn't the sort of thing, and obviously Beat Saber is probably the modern version of this sort of stuff, but it's not the sort of thing that I sit down and say, like, I need another rhythm game in my life, but like when I sit down and play something like this, and again, I love the demo, you know, it is one of these things where I'm like, yeah, I actually needed another one of these things in my life. So red armadillos are tricky. They are similar to yellow armadillos, but the middle hit is missing. You have to hit, then pause, then hit. Traps can affect monsters by moving them, by hiding them, or by making them faster. Flying monsters are unaffected by traps.
They might be monsters, but you're a beast!
Sorry, Cree, I see you sent a message, but I just need to concentrate on this bit. I am hoping to get out of the tutorials at some point. Your rhythm riff training is now complete. Whew, what a workout. Call me a protein shake, cause I'm way too impressed by your games. Alright, so before Guitar Hero, they made a rhythm game called Frequency, which got you so addicted. So what was Frequency like? I don't think I've ever heard of it. When you're ready for a new challenge, be sure to check out Remix Mode, Daily Challenges, and Modifiers. Keep playing to earn diamonds and unlock loads more content. If you want more content to flex on, visit our Steam Workshop to check out what the mod community has been cooking up. And if you want to truly test your skills, check out the challenges in the Extras menu. Now get out there and get some reps in, champ. Make me proud. Alright, a new beginning. It's strange. I'm actually starting to get used to this place. But I sure miss home, and the only lead I found for getting back there happened at this spot.
Whoa!
There it is again. This awful feeling in the pit of my stomach. I knew there was something going on in this part of town.
Ugh.
Ugh, and it's getting stronger.
What?
What was that? And who are you?
Hey!
Wait, I'm talking to you. Disco Disaster.
What the?
What is this? That looks like the portal that brought me to this world. Who are you?
3, 2, 1, let's go! In the zone. I'm on fire. Awesome.
I'm trying to learn an ideal spot to do the
All right.
maybe this would have been a better spot.
On a roll.
there was a tunnel with sides, and each side had a different part of the song, just like the drums or the vocals. You'd hit the rhythm in the track that you were on, and it would lock in and keep playing. Then you'd switch to the other side and do it there. The best part was a freestyle remix type mode where you could make your own rhythms and melodies and then play it just like one of the pre-made ones. That's really interesting. I definitely need to take a look at that, to create. It sounds like a really interesting game. All right, where did those monsters come from? Whoever you are, I need answers. Ooh, S+.
See that?
And actually not that far off on the accuracy. Right, bridging the gap.
All right.
Fired up. I am staking out this part of town until I figure out what's going on.
Oh dear.
I can feel it building.
Oh no.
It's gonna happen again soon.
Dove?
Is that you?
Cadence?
Oh my, Cadence. So you're here too. Yes, I've been here for months. It's so good to see a familiar face. But I still don't have any idea why we're here. Do you know how we got here? It's great to see you too, Cadence. You're my oldest friend. You're not my oldest friend, but you're definitely my oldest friend. Do you know what I mean? I missed you, Dove. Well, I hope you're still happy to see me after I get this off my chest. I'm afraid all this may have been my fault. You see, I was meditating back home trying to find my center as one does, and I think I really found it this time. And when I did, poof,
Whoa.
I was suddenly in this world. I found myself in front of something called a yoga class, wearing these boobleberry pants and doing a pose called Warrior 2. I was very confused to say the least, but somehow I got the hang of it, and now I really enjoy teaching yoga. I don't know if finding your center can open a portal to another world, Dove. What do you think happened then?
Well,
I was exploring a new dungeon in search of an artifact I'd heard rumors of. I was fighting off some slimes as usual, but one of them was purple, which I'd never seen before. When I defeated it, it disintegrated into a cloud of magical dust, and then the portal opened. Well, whatever caused the portal, it happened, and it's bad, Cadence. I've been calling it the Rift. Whenever it opens up, monsters come pouring out. And something terrible happens to that part of town if the monsters make it through. So I've been trying to fight the monsters myself, but you know how I feel about fighting.
oh no. It's coming.
Cadence!
Bring it on.
Let's do this. I'm totally ready to watch you and send good vibes.
3, 2, 1. Let's rock. Right on.
I forgot the down. Oh well. I knew you could do it.
Nothing to it.
Okay. Find your flow. Wait a minute. If you're here, maybe there are other people from our world here too. Have you found any of our friends? I did find someone, but he's not exactly a friend.
What?
You have got to be kidding me. The NecroDancer? This is who you've been talking to?
How?
I do like that he's got a beard net. How is he even alive again?
Deep breath.
Cadence, please take some deep breaths and hear him out. For me?
Fine.
You've got 1 minute before I lose my cool, NecroDancer. Can you lose something you never had? Dove, I'm going to kill him. You too. I think I'm happy to see you, you miserable rodent. Of all the annoying thorns in my side. But it seems we're all in this together somehow. The last thing I remember is your insufferable grandmother Arya pushing me into a pit to my death. And then suddenly the rift opened up and I found myself here, in this world, and in this dead-end job. I need this job just to survive. It's humiliating. I want to escape this miserable existence as soon as possible. We both want to get home, and we have a better chance if we work together to figure this out.
Listen.
I can't leave this job. I'm doing everything I can just to make ends meet. If you agree to help me by gathering information about what's going on, I'll tell you where you can find your other friends.
Really?
You expect me to believe all this? You have nothing to do with the monsters pouring through the rift.
No chance.
And you want me to help. Not a chance. Come on, Dove. We're leaving. But Cadence, what if we really do need his help to get back home? Talking to him has got to be our very last resort. There's no way he can be trusted. Okay, but what are our other options? You said yourself that you were searching for a lead for months before this. I don't know. I'm so mad when I think I blacked out for most of that encounter. Can you say that more of our friends are here? I'm too riled up to think clearly. Cadence, have you tried yoga before? I really think it could help clear your mind. Never heard of it, but if you think it'll help... Alright, here's what I think I'm going to do, because I'm looking at the time. I'm going to do a bit of a stretch. Now, I also realized that there wasn't that much time between me finishing the... break and playing this. So because it seems like there's a few people who haven't seen Crypt of the NecroDancer before, I'm going to do the mini game. I'm kind of interested to see what this is. Actually, tell you what, we'll do a bit of a stretch. We'll do the next Rhythm Rift, so then we can start with story the next time I play this. And then I'll show you a little bit of Crypt of the NecroDancer. I may not do like a full run or something like that, but let's at least make a little progress on that, just so I can show off the brace yourself oeuvre. Welcome to your first yoga session. Watch Dove closely. She will indicate what button to press, left, right, up, or down. Then watch your fellow students. They will indicate when it's time to press that button. Now, try and do it correctly 3 times. Great work. Now it's time to stretch your wings and show Dove what you can do.
3 and 2 and 1 stretch time. Downward dog. Double time. Ready? Find your flow. Make a tree. Downward dog.
Ah!
Double time. Try to keep up now. Double time.
I finally got the last double time. But that's a fun. I like that mini game. Again, I think one of the things I really respect about this is how, to a certain extent, it's the same. Like, there's any number of, how do I put this? Like, to a certain extent, it's the same piano roll rolling down, right? It's just different contexts in which I can show it, but they're really showing a lot of versatility in terms of the ways that you can take this idea. And like, there's definitely a lot of stumbles that I make, but I still think it doesn't. I don't feel like mad at the game. I feel mad at myself for not delivering. So, although I do feel I should probably up the difficulty a little bit, because I remember I do like it when there's a little bit more action on the board. I just know I'm gonna go to pieces tonight if I try too much. All right. Whoa, another rift already? Are they happening more frequently now?
You're right.
I think you're right.
3, 2, 1, go! In the zone.
Wow.
I'm on fire! Awesome!
Wonderful.
Right on!
Hardest part of the song. I do like how the worms look like kind of goofs. Anyway, that felt like that was a good run on that one. The game agrees.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I do want to show off a little bit of Crypto the NecroDancer, so I'm just going to take a quick second here and show... This has been Rift of the NecroDancer. I definitely want to get back to this. Now, again, I do want to finish... Book of Hours, so I'm not necessarily going to make a hard promise on when I'll be returning to this, but I definitely like it. I definitely want to return to it. And for those of you that are interested, it's currently 10% off with the launch discount. If you own Crypto the NecroDancer, you can also get it at a discount as part of the bundle. But what I do want to finish off on tonight, just so some people will have some context, I do want to show off Crypt of the NecroDancer.
They told me I was too young. They told me I needed more training. I told them to drop dead. How ironic. I don't know how I survived that fall. Something strange must have happened. My pulse is beating like a drum, but my blood is running cold. I'm not sure what's going on, but I came here with a question. And I'm gonna find the answer if it kills me.
So I don't have all the DLC for this, but... Oh. New version. Alright. Right, so this is what it looks like. So there's a side of me that wants to try the all zones mode, but we'll do a hard stop in zone 1. I actually probably could do the tutorial again, to be honest, but let's stick with zone 1. So hopefully you kind of get an idea of how this works, right? I have to go to the beat. But it has all the trappings of a standard roguelike, including kind of getting the loot. Obviously I've gotten hit a couple of times foolishly. That's just me not really paying attention to the patterns. So notice the green. I actually always feel really bad when I hit the green slimes because they don't really seem to be bothering anybody. Oh. All right. Ah. One nice thing that Power Up did for this game, whenever you get that 3-hit combo, right? You got the ha ha ha. All right, I was off the beat. You can also drill through the walls, although generally bombs will be a little more effective. Now you don't have an unlimited amount of time to go through the dungeon. So what I'm going to try and do here is see, we've got the stairs, but I want to see if we can find more loot. All right. So I could go trying to search for stuff in the walls, but at this point, I'm going to see if I can get a better weapon, and then we're going to head down to the next level. I'm also going to buy the, or I'm going to use the fruit. Oops. So you'll notice the sword here gives me some extra distance. I'm also pretty sure that, like... Oop. Sorry, double time. I'm pretty sure this red ghost sound that you're going to hear when I open the door is Kevin Regami of Power Up Audio. Yeah, like I said, I mean, this is a really... It's one of these things where, like, as soon as you look at it, it's obvious how good of an idea it is. But it's really hard to imagine how you'd sit down and realize how well the rhythm game and the roguelike fit. Oh, that doesn't work. You'll probably notice here that I've got the artifact, which is allowing me to see all the items on the level, so... I'd love to do the multiplier-based damage, but I actually like the extra range on this sword, so... We're gonna settle with what we got here. Alright, so the question is, do I want anything else before the end of this song? Because it's wrapping up. I think I'm gonna learn to live without. Right, so you can see these stronger skeletons. Oh yeah, I still haven't tried the fireball yet. Oops! My bad. Alright, let's see if we can beat King Gonga. Okay, that was a mess, but... Oh, dearie. Ah! I wish I could do a quick restart on the, you know what, let's do that one more time. I feel bad about how that one ended. But then I really do need to go to bed. So the thing that I keep getting wrong on this, again, it's been a while since I've played, but like you can see with the skeletons, right, that they raise their hands, and that's the signal that they're about to move. I'm also bad at the monkey. So in a lot of ways, if you've played some of the old roguelikes, like this is exactly how these games work, just without the explicit rhythm part. You kind of need to decide, you need to calculate your movements in such a way that you're going to be able to get the best outcome for your character. Sorry, I'm not focused on the beat apparently. Purchase a random item for 40 coins. I don't even know if I can find that chest again. I can, but it's going to cost me the end of the level, I think. Well, at least I don't need to worry about the spike traps anymore. So you may notice with the broadsword, right, that I don't have to be directly in front of an enemy now. Okay, so now this feels like a time I should be trying to capitalize on the spare time. Actually don't see a lot of... Oh no, here we go. Okay, so there's a little glint in the wall here. That's always an indication of a diamond. Huh. Heal damage after gold pickup. It's a tempting one. I also don't know what the item I have does with the up and left. Alright, I'm not getting back to King Konga tonight. But hopefully that was a fun little diversion. Again, the purpose of that one, I will put the link in the chat for this one. But this one is Crypt of the NecroDancer. This actually has got quite a steep discount right now. Come on. All right, just give me a second here. So this is actually available for 80% off, $3.89 Canadian. There is a bundle for it with a bunch of the different DLC. So I think there's amplified synchrony. I believe there's a multiplayer that was added in some of these. But again, this is the developer, same developer of the game. Wonderful, really enjoyable game. And I know it's a little unusual to go back to the old game off of Rift of the NecroDancer because I really enjoyed playing that. But I did want to just take a minute here and show you a little bit of some of the inspiration, or at least the references of the original game. So I'm sorry to end a little bit earlier. I guess it's only you know, a little shy of half an hour that I'm off. But again, I'm not feeling as bad as Monday, but I'm still not feeling 100%. And even now, I know I'm going to be getting a little less sleep than I wanted. So I am going to leave it here. However, I'm going to find somebody to host tonight. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your understanding on the slightly more, how do I put it, unbalanced streams, particularly with a new game and also not really finishing on time for today. I could try and host somebody who's doing Rift of the NecroDancer, but I also see that Vesper Fortune is streaming, and I'm slightly inclined to stream Vesper unless somebody else would like to see some more Rift of the NecroDancer. So speak up if you would like me to host a Rift channel, but it's been a while since I've seen Vesper, and I'd like to show some support if I can. If nothing else, we get to talk about the new release of Rift. So, anyways, let's do that. While the raid is getting going, I'll just say that I do plan on streaming on Friday. So tomorrow I've got a very, very full day, but I don't think there was going to be any stream stuff for that anyways. Friday, I'm expecting to be back to Book of Hours. So again, as much as I'd like to do some more Rift of the NecroDancer, I do want to put a bow on Book of Hours. So we'll return to that. And for those of you that like Brace Yourself stuff, so obviously Rift of the NecroDancer is the new one, and the NecroDancer universe is currently on sale. But they did also make Industries of Titan and Phantom Brigade, and I know there's been a big patch to Phantom Brigade that I've not played yet. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. Again, that's a more long-term plan for the stream, but it's one that I'm really looking forward to doing. So a really interesting developer if you have not checked them out yet. Obviously, the big release is always a fun time to talk about someone, but definitely if you've not checked out Brace Yourself Games, there's a ton of great stuff that they've been doing. I'm going to go to bed. Thank you everybody for hanging out, and please enjoy Vesper Fortune's channel. Until then, take care.